Hey guys, what's up? So, right now, I'm on my healing journey right now. I'm on my self improvement journey. I have a lot of healing that I've accomplished, but I'm still doing a lot of healing to go because there's still some more healing, right? Um, and a lot of the healing is, that I needed is from my childhood traumas, like, growing up with low self esteem, growing up living with my grandmother who had to take care of us for the majority of my childhood, and we were poor. We didn't have much. I walked around wearing clothes that was too small for me. I walked around smelling funky like deodorant, like must and onions and stuff because, we had deodorant and lotion and things, but everything was generic. So the deodorant wasn't, catering to my pH. So it was like wearing it made the funk worse to me, and so that started to create insecurities. Plus, having, I used to have to wear men's clothes because I'm hippie. I have hips, and the women's clothes or the young females' clothes couldn't fit, right? So then they would try to get me Mrs. clothes, which was for older women, So me being a 10, 11, 12-year old wearing Mrs. clothes, I felt like I was wearing granny clothes. I'm like, I'm not wearing these clothes. So I had to wear men's pants, and because, again, we were poor, I didn't have belts, so I had to use shoestrings or find some kind of shoestring or something to use as a belt, to hold up the pants because the pants were too big. They fit my hips and thighs and stuff, which was needed, but they were too big on the waist. So, I had to wear a lot of tacky. I had to go through a lot of tacky things. I wore a lot of big clothes, sweatpants and stuff because of that, to try to hide, the imperfections and the insecurities, because I didn't have anything. And growing up not being taught anything, like I learned everything on my own. I learned from TV. I learned from reading. I love reading, and I still read to this day. I love reading, so I learned a lot from reading. Learned a lot from TV, or just from looking at my friends and seeing how they were, and then picking up what I thought I needed for me from my friends. I would look through they when I would go to the bathroom, I would look in their mirrors and stuff to see what they got in there, so then I can get these things for me because I didn't have these things. And that's how I wound up stealing. Like, I used to be a thief because I'm like, I'm a girl. I like, I'm not going to be walking around smelling like this, um, and so I would steal. I had to steal things because it was like a burden to my grandmother. Like, when I would ask her, I was like, "Hey, I need some pads. I just bought you some." I'm like, "But I went through them." She thinking you, and then so I had to steal the pads. I had to steal the deodorant. I had to steal lotion because we had generic everything, and I wanted name brand stuff. So I'm stealing name brand things. Like, oh, I'm not gonna be walking around like this. No, you're not. And so that started to create, some insecurities in me. That started to make me feel less than, unworthy. That started to make me feel get that I started to have low self-esteem because I didn't like my nose. I'm like, my nose is too big. I'm the only one who got big nose, or my lips was too thick or big, and I was like, oh, I don't like this. I used to not like it, and then being a hippie person and couldn't fit anything, and I'm like, I can't fit anything, so I had to wear, again, men's clothing, and getting the latest styles when they're out of style. I'm just now getting the latest new thing. I'm just getting the latest Adidas sneakers, and now they're on to the newest Nike sneakers, and I'm like, dang, I just got these Adidas, right? And it was just like, I mean, I hated it. I hated it so much, and it did a lot of trauma to me. Again, also just being, feeling like you were unloved, being the oldest, having to have all these adult responsibilities when you just wanted to be a kid and you couldn't. It that bothered me. I hated it when I wanted to go to the movies or go skating or something, and I couldn't because I had to babysit, or stay in the house, or because somebody had to do this or do that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to be a kid. I just want to have fun. I just want to play. So, and, just feeling like I was not protected. unsafe. I felt unloved, so feeling like I was a slave to everybody. I felt like, everybody wanted me to do everything for them, and then and I never had a choice to say no. And if I said no, I would be forced to do it anyway. So that was like, well, that was, again, that's discouraging. That was painful. So for years, I grew up, codependent, just wanting to do things for everybody else, always being there for everyone and never being there for myself. Doing too many things, bending over backwards, making sure everybody's straight, but not me. And forbid that I would start focusing on me and doing things for me, people would take that away. They would take my attention. They would try to get my attention, my time, my energy to redirect it back to them and take it off of me, because they didn't want me to, take care of me and do me. Because I know that they knew my potential. I know that they seen who I was when I didn't know who I was, and they didn't want that for me. So I really felt, like I said, I felt unloved. I felt low self-esteem. I felt not worthy, and this is why 3 different times in my life I didn't want to be here. I did something. I did something about it, but it didn't succeed, because I know that was nobody but God. God wanted me here. God needed me here for a purpose. So here I am. And so as I'm on my journey of healing, I'm actually I'm just taking the time to do me. So part of your healing, you would have to find your purpose. So I'm still finding my purpose, and I do understand and know that part of my purpose is here doing these videos. This is part of my purpose. I know it. The Lord has instructed me to do these videos for a long time, but due to those insecurities, fear was plaguing me. Fear was stagnating me. Fear had me freaking like trauma. Fear was causing me trauma to do these videos, to get on this camera, to open my mouth, to, say what I needed to say. I was so fearful, and it took me a long time to get here, to get right here where I'm at. So I'm like right now I'm just doing me. I'm in a stage of doing me. Like I had to, cut ties with a lot of people, but God removed those people so that I can have the time that I need right now, right here, to grow and to do, the self-care, to put me first. And as I'm doing that, I am enjoying myself. I'm finding my purpose. And I'm working hard. I've been, finding your purpose requires you to be diligent. It requires you to set goals. I've been setting my goals. I've been following through with integrity. That's the thing. I have to follow through. I have to stay consistent. And that's what I'm working on. Consistently showing up, even when it's challenging, even when I feel like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? I'm just getting on here and trusting God. You know what I'm saying? Relax. God is in control. I had to throw it on. And, and accepting myself, because for the longest, I didn't accept myself because I didn't know myself. I didn't know what I liked. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know who I was. And I didn't know how to accept myself. I didn't know what to do, because I used to tell myself I didn't care what people think, but then I actually cared what people thought. And I was just lying to myself, but I didn't want to. But, now at this day and age, I honestly do not care what people think, because you can't. You cannot care what people think about you. You cannot care what people say. You cannot, because that is going to affect you from being you. I am so at a place where I'm just enjoying myself. I love my own company. And a lot of people can't even bear to be alone and enjoy their own company. A lot of people can't even be by themselves for too long, because they don't know themselves. They may not like themselves, whatever the case may be. But a lot of people cannot be by themselves. They don't enjoy their own company. But I do. That's the best. And I found that as I am by myself, I'm getting to know myself. I really like myself. I enjoy my quiet. I enjoy me. I enjoy my mind. I enjoy, my heart, because I have a good heart. And I love. And when I love deep. I love strong. I love hard. And I've been taken advantage of because of that. People taking my love for granted. And, just kind of trampling over me and just making me feel like crap. But as I've been doing the work, to improve myself and to have that peace and quiet time with self, I am seeing that, oh no, my boundaries have gotten stronger. I know how to say no now. And it took practice. And that's what it's going to take for you to also. You're going to have to practice saying no. And at first, it's going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to feel weird. You might even try to retract it and say, oh, yes. But no, you got to stand on the no. When you do finally say no, you got to stand on it. It's uncomfortable. You might feel guilty. You might feel bad. But that's normal, because you may be accustomed to telling people yes and being available, whatever. Now that you got to say no, it's going to be uncomfortable at first. But even though it's uncomfortable, you must tell people no. You must. You have to do things for yourself. Don't share your goals. Like, I don't share much of anything too much, because again, they don't care. They don't care. So you telling people about your goals, you telling people about what you want, you're telling people about your dreams or whatever. They don't care. They honestly don't care. The people who are not who do not matter to your purpose, they don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about your goals. They don't care about nothing but what you can do for them. And if you can't do anything for them, then they don't care. Okay? And, but you have to find your purpose. You got to find who you are. You have to, do what you need to do and to heal. Get to know thyself. Because that's the best thing. Because if you don't know yourself, then, people can manipulate you, pull you all which ways, and you'll just be lost out here, lost. You'll start to dislike yourself, have low self-esteem, not feel worthy, not feel loved, be confused, not know how to think for yourself. You'll always be looking for somebody else to tell you what to do, how to do it. But you got to show up for yourself. You got to take your power back, because again, God gave you the power. He gave you the power. He gave you the power. You have it, but you got to learn how to use it. And it takes practice. Listen, it took a lot for me, and, for me to, and it still is. It's still a work in progress, because sometimes I find myself, going a little bit backwards, and then I got to remind myself, oh, Taisha, this is what we're working for, toward. You got to go forward. So, sometimes, because, I don't, like to tell people no. I don't like to not, be able to be there for people, but I realize that, sometimes some folks take advantage of you. But, you just got to know, you just got to, know who you can deal with, and know who's really for you, who's your tribe, who's in your corner, who got your back, who's worthy of staying in your life, and then who you may have to put on the back burner, and deal with them at a later time. You have to put you first. You have to. Because if you don't, again, you'll be in this world lost. You'll be in this world just not knowing if you're coming or going. Not knowing anything. Not knowing what to do. Always doing and being for other people and not for yourself. I feel like that's the worst thing that I could do. Once I started to really work on myself and see that how much I've always been available for other people and not for myself, I was so disappointed in myself. But I've learned to give myself grace, to know that I make mistakes. I've learned to, forgive myself, and I've learned to just say no. And I can't lie, I enjoy saying no, especially when I have to, especially if I feel like whatever it is that they're asking is burdening me, or just too much time consuming. Like, I don't like anymore to hear people's drama. I don't like to hear nobody's crap. I definitely don't like no one gossiping. And so I redirect the conversation, or I just straight up say, right now, my mind and my spirit is not, for that. I can't deal with it right now. I cannot deal with that right now. That's something that we're going to have to, maybe a couple of days later, we can talk about it, revisit that if necessary, or if need be. But right now, yeah, because Like I said, I was dealing with this guy, and every time you turned around, his life was so filled with turmoil that I would start feeling overwhelmed. I would start feeling angry. Like, listen, I'm not here for to be your dumping ground. You dumping your dumpster in on me, and then you going about, and I got your burdens and your worries and your stresses, and now you freed up, and now I'm, you know, um, turmoiled and stressed out and. Mm-mm. So I had to tell him no. I cut him out completely. Completely. Like, and anyone like him. And that's the best thing that I could have ever did, because over here is peace now. I really have peace, you know. And when you get to know the Lord, again, a lot of these things, you know, that we've been accepting, that we've been doing, that we've been so quick to want to be for everybody, we're not supposed to be that way with everybody. We really have to be picky and choosy of who we have and who we allow in our lives. We can't just be having everybody in our life, because everybody is not good for us. They are not. And everybody does not have your best intentions. They just don't. And you got to wean out, you know, or weed out who is and who is not for you. And if you're left by yourself and all alone, then that's a good thing, because that gives you the opportunity to, you know, work on self and do what you got to do. Because if they're not supporting you, if they're not pouring into you, if they're not supporting you, if they're not showing up for you, if they don't have your back, if you find yourself always being for others, but then those same people are not there for you, you have to learn how to say no to those people. That's where the boundaries come in. I'm now so big on boundaries that no. If it's making me stressed out, if it's doing too much, if I do not have the time to do it, if I do not want to do it, I'm telling you no. And I'm not feeling bad about it. That's the thing. We cannot feel bad about doing what's right for us. And even though a lot of us have been, you know, ingrained to do so through our upbringing, through just, you know, life or whatever, that we got to start to sit back and analyze, you know, and reflect on self. If you're not doing it, you need to. And, you know, as I've been doing it, you know, I wake up earlier now, like I said. I exercise now more. It's so cold out here now, so I don't go out too much to walk because it's too cold. But then that's when I do the exercises in the house. As I do my deliveries, that's exercise and getting air, going up and down the stairs, you know. So, you know, getting in and out of the car. So that's part of my exercise. And, you know, you have to be comfortable in your own company. Listen, I love my company so much that anybody that comes in that is trying to disturb my peace, that is trying to come and pull me from out of where I'm going and what I've been doing and all the work that I'm putting in, they cannot. You got to be comfortable in your own skin. And like I said, a lot of people aren't comfortable in their skin. They're not comfortable in their own company. I love my company that I can't even lie. I don't even, for right now, since I'm doing my healing journey, I don't even really kind of want anybody in my presence. I don't. I don't, because I am loving me. And this is the first time ever that I've really been doing me and putting this time, this energy, this effort, you know, for me. And I'm realizing that there's a lot of things that I do not like. And then I'm realizing also that the things that I used to accept, I'm like, girl, I'll be damned if I accept those things that I used to accept and allow now. Oh no. Oh no, I'm serious. I am so serious. I will not be accepting things, you know, what? No, I don't think so. And that's where you got to come and have a positive attitude. And you have to have a positive attitude towards yourself. Like, you got to look at yourself and think of all the great qualities that you have, and whatever is your weaknesses, you look at those things, and then you look and you say, how can I improve this? You know, like me, you know, how can I'm on here. You know, I used to think that I'm shy. No, I'm not shy. I just didn't have the opportunity to express myself. So I withhold myself. I would be, you know, timid. You know, I would always look down and stuff like that. Because that right there, looking down and, you know, looking away and doing all this, that was ingrained in me. When I was younger, I was told I would get beat if I would look at people in their face. Like through the abuser, I was abused a lot physically, and I would get hit for things that was normal. Like when you meet someone and you look in their face and you have eye contact with people, I was told not to. So when I would like, and especially if, if it was two adults talking and I'm the kid, and then I'm listening to their conversation, and then they like, put your head down, don't look, turn around, and then so that became ingrained in me, right? So then that taught me how to, when people talk, to look down. So even when I got older, I was looking down even at people, and I would be uncomfortable looking people in their eyes. And now it's like, no. So I had to unlearn that. And that, oh my God, y'all, that was hard. Sometimes I have to remind myself, because sometimes I might find myself doing it, and then I have to talk to myself and be like, oh, come on, Ty, you can't do this. Nope. You got to overcome this. But it was something that was ingrained in me. So because it was ingrained in me and that was what I was taught, that's something I learned, and that's something I just did. Now I have to unlearn that, which I am. But there's sometimes, some days I still find myself, put my head down, still find myself, but again, I've learned to overcome that. I've learned to work on that, and, you just gotta, because when you have self-awareness and you can accept yourself for your flaws, I love my big nose now. I'm like, you see, I got an earring in it. I would have never got that before. What? No. I was like, trying to hide it. But when you learn to accept yourself, you learn to accept your flaws, your imperfections, your everything. And then you become happy. You start to feel better. Your mood starts to get happy. You start to get excited, and then you start to know that you the ish. Because I am her, and she is me. And I love me. What? It frees you from whatever burdens or insecurities or, just anything negative that you may have been used to. It frees you of that. And then you really begin, because I really enjoy myself. Y'all don't even understand what I enjoy myself so much that, listen, I really am vetting people hard now. Hard. And if you do not pass the test that I deem right for me, for you to get in my life, you ain't getting in. That's why I said, bye, Simon. Simon over there trying to get in. I said, Simon will have me all this peace, all this relaxation, this calmness, the sereneness that I have. Simon will have me daggone wired out and anxious. And I was like, Simon doing too much. And for me, I was like, woo, I can't do it. You a little bit too much for me. I'm at a place of relaxation, calm, harmony. And even though he looked like he was a good guy, he was just too overwhelming for me. Especially where I am and where I'm going. I'm like, I can't deal with Simon right now. I was like, Simon is too much, but listen to that video about Simon, okay? Because but anyways, excuse me. But you have to learn how to accept yourself. And it's going to take some time. It's going to take work, but it takes practice every day, consistency. And again, some days it's going to be better than others, but that is okay. It's not a rush. You're here. You're you. You're going to be you all your life until you die. So you got all the time to do you, to be you, to get it right. And that's according to you and your eyes of what you see and deem right for you. Be compassionate with yourself. Love yourself. Forgive yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Be easy. It's not a rush. You ain't got to rush. This is your skin. This is your life. And the only one who can live it is you. You know what I'm saying? The only one who can live it is you. And, just have, I forgive myself. I'm still learning. This is new. I give myself grace. And again, just practice. Practice, practice, practice. Practice, practice, practice. And, be okay with saying no. It's going to take time, but you can do it. I'm rooting for you. And again, God cares for you. And God wants you to have a healthy life. He cares about everything that you care about. Whatever you care about, He cares about. He wants nothing but the best for you. He wants nothing but the best for you. And we got to learn to not be around people that, like it says in 2 Timothy 3:3-5, we got to learn not to be around people who are unloving, who are unforgiving, who slander others, who have no self-control. Oh, that is the big one. When you don't have temperament, spirit, self-control, stay away from me. Stay away from me. And it says it in His word. This is what 2 Timothy says. You got to stay away from people like that. You got to stay away from people who are cruel, who hate. They hate what is good, but they love what is bad. They love pleasure rather than God. They slander people. They gossip. They're reckless. They betray their friends. You know what I'm saying? They are puffed up with pride. And, they just, whatever could make them good people, make them godly people, they reject it. It says in His word, and it says just like that, stay away from them. Stay away from them. Because they're not for you. If God says stay away from them, and He said these are not the people who are, spiritual, who are good, then stay away from them. It teaches you in the Bible, this is why you need to read your word, of what is good, what is not. Who to stay away from, who you can be with. Those people are unequally yoked with you. So if you are seeing that they got all these bad characteristics about them and you got these good characteristics about you, you're unequally yoked. You can't be friends with those people because they can taint you. You can wind up being ensnared and becoming like them. If you ever heard of birds of a feather flock together, that's true. If you hang around people who are thieves, you might wind up stealing and become a thief. If you hang around people who are gossipers, you might find yourself over there being gossipy. Listen, these things are true. But listen, I don't know who this was for, but I hope that this helped. Take some time to get to know thyself and do the work, because it does get challenging. It is hard at first, but with the practice, practice makes perfect. If you want to be toned and you want to get in shape, and you're going to have to work out. You're going to have to eat right. You're going to have to go to bed at a reasonable hour. You ain't going to be able to stay up late, binge watching TV or on social media, whatever it is you're doing. It takes practice. Anything you want to do and perfect takes practice, hard work, diligence, consistency, perseverance. You have to do it every day, even when you don't want to. So, I hope this message resonated with someone out there. And if so, comment. I would like to hear about your stories or whatever. Like it if you feel led to, and subscribe again if you feel led to. And my birthday is coming up, guys. My birthday is next week. Hey! I am so grateful to be here to see another year around the sun. Woo! Woo! So yes, I am here. Okay, guys. So I'm doing my best to be consistent, to showing up for you, to give you guys some advice, to let you hear some stories, and to hear back so we can communicate, so we can get this party started, like I said. So I hope and pray that you guys have a blessed day, because I really do care about you guys. I care about you guys. And until next time, blessings.